Right, so today I'm going to be making probably one of my most favourite things to eat, and it's paella or paella or whatever way you like to say it, but in Northern Ireland, whenever I meet people, it's usually paella. And this is what we're going to start out with. So it's always with like fresh ingredients, so like lemons and parsley and like just as much good kind of quality stuff as you can find. So like even right down to your chicken stock, go and get the best one you can get. It all adds up into a really nice flavour. And even like right down to the wines and stuff like that. And so even though you're only using about like kind of that much of wine. So one of the most important things to use whenever you're making a paella is a smoked paprika, and go and find like the most strangest one you can. I usually actually go and try and go to TK Maxx because they have like all the weird and wonderful ones. And that's where you can get the decent kind of quality ones, and they're cheap enough as well. So I'm doing quite a big version of this today, and the one thing I want to focus on is as much fish as I can get into it. I'm going to do one with chicken because one daughter likes chicken, one daughter likes fish. So ingredients wise, we'll want to have parsley, some lemons, garlic. I'm going to use this stuff here, which is sea salt, but it's like smoked sea salt, and it's absolutely brilliant. And then some paella rice, of course. Chicken stock's pretty important to have as well. I'm gonna use chorizo, and this is like Spanish stuff I got from Lidl. So this is the important stuff here, which is your paprika, and just some white wine, some red onions, some tomato puree, and then I'm gonna make myself some nice pieces of bread then with it as well. So to do this, we just need some spices as well. So spice-wise, I go in with some onion salt, some garlic granules. The reason I kind of like use dried spices like these is that whenever you're in Tesco's and you're looking to make paella for the first time, probably one of the first things you see is the wee packets, and that's what I decided to start doing throughout my life. I will never ever call myself a chef, I'll never call myself even a good cook. I'll just say that I'm competent in the kitchen because the only thing I've ever done is went to the backs of the packets of the things that I liked inside Tesco's and then found the spices from them and then started to use them. And from there, that's kind of like, I would call myself like a dad's cook. Like somebody who's in the kitchen, they like to cook nice things, they like nice quality things to eat, but they don't want to be super fussy. So to do that, you can cook the majority of things just by having spices and herbs. And that's why I probably have like so many of these things. Is like, I buy everything I can find, all the different types. Because whenever you read the backs of the packets, you see like this weird kind of spice that you've never heard of. And that's usually whenever I find stuff like this. So let's get cracking. So everything starts with an onion. So pretty much all we need here is a nice big red onion to drop in. Some nice little slices off the onion. Right, so first thing we want to do is go in with a bit of olive oil into cast iron. And then we're going to drop in our onions. So that's our onions in. So while these onions are doing their thing, we're going to go in with some chorizo now. And chorizo, just nice little chunks. Right, so in with some of the smoked sea salt in over the top. Okay, and now drop in our chorizo as well. That's all that kind of like ready, and I'm pretty happy with that. And then over here is going to be a keto version, which is going to be for Lindsay. So this here is just basically a sugar-free version. So we're just going to use like cauliflower instead of the paella. So now's the time to add the paella. Right, so this is one of my favorite parts actually, which is just basically adding in the paella rice. So paella goes in. Nice big heaped teaspoonful and a half of the smoked paprika. Garlic granules go in as well, and onion salt as well. And then we give this a nice stir. And all that does is just like coats all the rice with all the oils from the meat and the onions. And just let that sit for a wee minute in the heat. Oh, it smells fantastic already. So while they're frying off, we're just going to add in some garlic. I'm going to say some garlic, I mean quite a lot of garlic. I absolutely love garlic. Probably one of the best things about being on lockdown at the minute is no one is around. No one's around to smell your big stinky garlic breath. So you can drop in as much garlic as you want, and in my case I absolutely love it. So good for you, and just fill your boots with it. The cardinal rule to having garlic is to make sure that everybody that you know that's living in your household is eating the same thing as you. So as long as you've got that, you'll be a very happy person. I have no understanding why people ever buy the lazy garlic. So a healthy amount of garlic into the pan, and the same for the other little version here for my dear wife. Just give that a little mix. Ooh, that smells great. So white wine, about a glass full of it. Oh, and that's the smell, that's it. Wow, that's a wet and windy day outside. It makes you so happy whenever you're cooking indoors. So chicken stock, we're just gonna add that in now. Nice decent amount of that. And the same in for Lindsay's version of it here. Incorporate, incorporate, incorporate. So if you're interested in the sugar-free version, this is a super cheap. You're basically just using cauliflower rice and dropping it into the same mix with the chicken stock. And I must say, I invented this whenever I was doing keto with Lindsay, and she absolutely loved it, just said that it tasted amazing. So the trick is to use frozen cauliflower, so don't use the fresh stuff. Just find that the texture is better whenever you do it this way, and two, it's super easier to do. So pretty much all we're doing there is just mixing in. I'll take a quick look. Is mixing in the frozen cauliflower with our mix there. So now is the bit that's really important, which is tidying up. So it doesn't matter how good a chef you are, how nice and tasty your food is. See if you don't tidy up after you're like the worst in the world. So tidying up, it's like cleanliness is next to godliness. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, if you don't tidy up after you've cooked and you make a big mess, don't even bother. Right, so while these are bubbling away, we're just going to add in some parsley then. And the parsley basically lets us drop it in over the top there. And the same on the other one. Lindsay hates parsley, but she gets it no matter what, so she doesn't have a choice. She just has to like parsley, even if she hates it. So we just let this simmer now. Right, so this is probably like the crown of any good paella, and it's to have mussels on them. Mussels go in, and then this is the annoying part, is to actually clean them. Just takes ages to do, but definitely worthwhile doing. So this is a bit of a labour of love, and I'll not let you kind of sit and watch it, but pretty much all we're doing is just checking that none of these have like the wee dirty bits and things on them, and making sure none of them are open that they're going to murder you then. Right, so here's the last part, which is basically find as much fish as you can get your hands on, and just drop all that fish with a tiny little pinch of garlic over the top, and a tiny little pinch of smoked sea salt. You don't need too much because it's fish, and a nice healthy bit of olive oil over the top of that as well. And then I just steam this. Right, so this is it. This is the moment. This is when we are ready now to actually eat. So this has been simmering away. It's smelling absolutely beautiful at the minute, and we're just going to plate it up. So okay, so this is it kind of plated up, and then we're just going to add in some of our lovely mussels over the top of that as well. And the last thing I want to do is just give it a nice little wedge of lemon. And then just a little dust of parsley in over the top. And that